The bell in St. Maren's Tower rang 3 times on a Tuesday morning, and by Thursday, old Clem Fairchild was in the ground. Riley had been caretaker of the cemetery adjoining St. Maren's for 11 years, before she started keeping the logbook. At first, she told herself it was coincidence. Churches ring bells. People die. The sequence only feels meaningful because the human mind craves pattern the way roots crave water. She wrote that exact sentence in the front cover of a green composition notebook and underlined it twice, as if certainty were something you could press into paper. By the second year of logging, she had 37 entries. The bell never rang for illness, never rang for accidents that happened far away. It rang specifically, deliberately, for people whose graves Riley would eventually dig within the borders of the churchyard. The number of rings corresponded to the days remaining. 3 rings, 3 days, 7 rings, a week. Once, on a February night that turned her breath to smoke, the bell rang once, a single, flat, resonant strike at 2 a.m., and before Riley reached her cottage door, she heard tires on gravel and saw the funeral home's black van already turning up the lane. She never told Father Greaves. He was 71, and she had already heard the bell ring 9 times on a cold October Sunday. She told Avery Coldwater instead. Avery was the diocese archivist, a careful woman with ink-stained fingers who drove up from the city every few months to catalog baptism records going back to 1812. She listened to Riley without interrupting, which Riley appreciated. Most people interrupted when they got uncomfortable. Avery asked to see the logbook. She read it in the sacristy while Riley waited in the cemetery, turning soil around a rose bush that had no business blooming in November. When Avery came out, her face had the particular stillness of someone who had just confirmed something they never wanted confirmed. "There's a record," Avery said, from 1887. A bell ringer named Prosper Inkwood complained to the bishop that the bell was ringing itself. He said it woke him from sleep. He said it rang for his wife 4 days before she fell. She paused. The bishop had him removed, declared it mechanical fault. "And after Inkwood left?" Riley asked. "No further complaints." Avery folded her hands, which means one of 2 things. Riley already knew both things. Either no one after Inkwood had been paying attention, or everyone after Inkwood had been paying attention and decided sensibly to say nothing. The twist arrived the way true things do, quietly, through a detail Riley had stopped seeing because it was always there. She went back through the logbook that night, all 37 entries, and counted the rings against the days. Perfect correspondence, every time except for one. Entry 19. She had written, "Bell rang 11 times, 4:14 a.m., September 3rd. She had waited 11 days and logged no death. She had written anomaly in the margin and moved on, but she had been counting wrong. She pulled the burial records she kept in the cottage. Cross-referenced. Her hands went cold before her mind caught up. 11 rings. 11 days from September 3rd was September 14th. September 14th was the day Riley had arrived at St. Maren's, her first day as caretaker. The day she had stood in the churchyard for the first time and felt, for reasons she couldn't explain, that the ground already knew her name.